Welcome back to a new video. So as you may notice, I am at a new gym today. I decided to try out this facility that is pretty close to where I live. It is approximately 26 minutes from my house, at least according to the GPS. Took a little bit longer because I missed one turn, because it is driving in a direction that I don't typically drive, which is towards downtown Cincinnati, which is kind of a direction I avoid at all costs, just because when you go downtown, or I go anywhere near downtown, traffic is bad, and I just don't like dealing with that much traffic, especially around events and stuff. So it's usually good to avoid. But in this case, I wanted to try out this gym because I've seen a lot of good things about it as far as the equipment that they have, and they have really nice equipment, all Rogue competition plates. And then this is, I believe, a Rogue training bar, is the same one I have at the house. I didn't look to see exactly on the side, but I'm pretty sure it's the same one that I have because it looks almost exactly the same and felt pretty much the same. But the knurling was really good because it was a little bit more aggressive than a normal training bar, at least more so than the Vulcan. So on this day, the reason I decided to plop into the gym was that I had a feeling that I was going to feel pretty good today, and decided that I was just going to work to some heavy singles if I felt like it. It felt good enough for it, and as you'll see, went really well. I didn't have any misses in any exercise today, which is really exciting. So with the snatch, I was able to get up to 125. You'll see it was very difficult, but the 120 I did before looked really strong, and really all my reps looked really strong up until that weight, which is why I stopped at 125. Obviously felt really heavy, and certainly not a clean rep, but certainly more than I did 4 weeks ago when I started doing this progression. So quite happy with how the 120 felt. See there, caught it really solid. Was able to stand it up pretty easy, and then had enough confidence to go up to this 125. Now, because of this max out day and how productive it was, I actually want to restart the progression. So I have done this build up for 4 weeks, and I've increased what I guess the training max for snatch and clean, and really even for the squat and the deadlift, as you'll see. Everything went fantastic on this day. So I kind of want to reset the progression, go back to doing the light weights with the volume, and just kind of build back and kind of readjust the week as I see fit, and maybe change some things around, but essentially just go back to doing the beginning of the 4 weeks and then just kind of build back up. Maybe it'll just be a 4 week progression, because I felt like I finally overextended this week, and so the day off, or like the lighter day yesterday, kind of primed me for this day. At least in hindsight it did, so it's exciting about that. Clean jerks felt good. Some of my cleans felt weird. I don't know why. Sometimes I felt like my feet weren't moving, or my arms were slow, like my elbows were slow to get under. But looking at these, they all look good. That 125, I looked down because I bumped my leg with a bar, but all these felt good. The jerks were kind of wonky and all over the place, but I mean, what's new? I'm not gonna have very clean reps, and it's kind of, I think, the last thing to kind of get back. Obviously, snatches, you get that stability overhead. That's always something I'm working on, but just getting back to being confident enough to try these heavy clean jerks. So I kind of blew past this 150. You see that the jerk went pretty well here. This is what I missed last week, and honestly, that looked a little bit better than the 140. And so I decided, based on how that felt, that I would jump up to 160, which I haven't done since my competition back in May. Caught the bounce on the clean really well, and was pleasantly surprised that I was able to stabilize the jerk. Obviously, not a super clean rep, but a lot more than I did last week and in the last 4 weeks, and just really productive with that. So I was flying high into that into back squats, and decided to see how I was going to feel with this. And since I kind of at this point was like, all right, I'm going to reset the progression, I was like, let's kind of push a squat just for a single to see where I'm at. So just took some normal big jumps. And fortunately, people were using the reds. Fortunately or unfortunately, it was nice to lift around people who were doing weightlifting. So I wasn't just able to load up on all the reds, because I had to kind of load kind of weird, since you had to share with other people and have the facility to myself. There's actually 3 or 4 other people that were doing weightlifting there too, which is certainly a PR in that regard. I don't normally train around other people, so that was kind of nice in that regard. But as you saw, I jumped up to that 210. And that felt good, and then jumped up, or that was 190. I think this was 210. See if I can count correctly. 200, 220, 225. Yeah, that was the last one, was 225. Sorry, I got miscounted because my caption got a little messed up, so I confused myself. But dropped that down to 150 to do some pulls. Went from 150 to 200 to 250 to 290 to 300. And was pleasantly surprised about the 225 back squat and the 300 pull. Once I pulled 290, I was like, I definitely can do 300 today, and certainly did not have any more in the tank, mostly because my other choice would have been to jump to 310, and that sounded way too heavy. And 300 definitely looked difficult, but as you can see, as I start to lift this up, I just kind of don't have any more space on the bar, which is kind of a weird flex, I guess. It's kind of a cool problem to have, where I kind of have to think about like getting thinner plates, otherwise I can't do any more weight. But don't really need anything more than a 300 kilogram pull, and it's kind of nice if I can just throw that in a session where I'm just like doing deadlifts or whatever. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do 300. Like that's kind of where I want my deadlift to be, just because it's a cool number to do. Don't really envision myself, at least right now, pushing it to go much higher. But I mean, if I would pull that 300 how that 290 went, then the Ooga Booga part of me would definitely say let's load up 310 and see what happens, because I think it would be cool one day to do a 700-pound deadlift of some sort, even though I'm using straps. And I thought about doing hook grip with the deadlifts when I was doing them today, but with my blister that I had gotten last week, which thankfully is fully healed, I decided just to strap up. And honestly, I'm not going to do a powerlifting meet, so I don't really got to worry about doing it. It's just mostly to limit myself so I don't go to true max like this day. But anywho, that's it for this one. So a really fun session, a really great day of training. I'm certainly probably going to be destroyed by it tomorrow, but trying to enjoy the fun and the high of good training in the moment. But that's it for this one. I'll talk to you all on the next one, and I hope you all have a great day. Peace. Oh, and one more thing I wanted to add. The reason that I don't actually, just go to the gym on a regular basis, the membership is $100 a month. And I mentioned the drive, it's going towards downtown, which is not good for traffic in any major metropolitan area. So it's not a very fun place to drive to based on the location. It's still technically 26 minutes, but on a weekday during the school year, during rush hour, it probably would take 10 to 15 to 20 more minutes on an average day to get down there to go to train, and that's certainly not something I want to deal with for $100 a month. Now you get 24/7 access, but my current gym, the place where you've seen me go normally, that's not my shed, is $33 or $35 a month, and it's 32 minutes from my house in a much better direction for traffic. Even though I still will catch rush hour traffic, it's still not in the direction of downtown. So it's just a much easier place to get to, and it's a place I like training at anyway. This place would be nice, and it's probably a place I'll go back to on a very occasional basis, because the daily pass that I got for the day was $25, which is an excessive amount for a day pass. Most places are $10, so certainly not a place I would frequently go to because of the prohibitive cost of the daily pass as well as the monthly membership. But maybe one day if they drop prices rather drastically, it could convince me to go there. But it's really not it doesn't make any financial sense for me to pay at least $65 more a month to go to a place when I can have a really good facility where I go now, and have just a really good environment in general. Even though there's not a lot of weightlifters, it's you're around strong people, which is kind of important too. But enough blank space at the end. This is a true end. If you made it to this part, I appreciate it, and I'll talk to you all in the next video. Peace.